Think about the last time you went food shopping. If you look closely at the products you bought, you might notice that almost half of them have a familiar emblem. Or maybe you remember the movie Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And those iconic, world-famous chocolate bars, 5 of which contained a golden ticket. I might ruin your childhood a bit, but even Willy Wonka signed a contract with Nestlé. For more than 60 years, a real-life Wonka chocolate factory has existed, and it is a subsidiary of none other than Nestlé. You might have bought Nescafé coffee or Kit Kat. Or maybe your cat has tried Purina. Just show me a person who doesn't know what Nesquik is. This list could go on, but the point remains the same. Nestlé controls all of it. On one hand, they provide one of the most basic human rights, the right to food. On the other hand, they have monopolized the market. And they manage the industry not in Walmart or Food Lion, but across the entire world. Nestlé generates tens of thousands of jobs, providing employment to a vast number of people across the globe. At the same time, the company has been embroiled in a scandal for supposedly selling mineral water to Europeans. But in fact, it was polluted with feces, bacteria and other harmful substances. Today you are going to find out what this company really is and how it managed to become a global leader. But first, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Monivest is still a very young project, but you can help me spread quality content. So, did you like and subscribe? If so, let's get started! Do you know who is this? Of course you do, because it is surname that I have been talking all this time. Just like Mercedes, Nestlé was once just an ordinary last name. But everything changed in 1967. It was the time when Henry Nestlé developed a high-quality milk-based infant formula and soon began selling it. Then this man helped improve the production of milk chocolate. Thanks to his technology, chocolate stopped getting moody. By the 1870s, Nestlé had already become a fairly successful company. But global domination was still a long way off. Nestlé's management managed to create production facilities in the United States, the United Kingdom, Germany, Spain, and of course Switzerland. After all, Nestlé was born in Switzerland. At the beginning of the 20th century, it was already a successful business with a multi-million-dollar revenues. And if you take inflation into account, these figures can even turn into billions in today's money. And then the First World War broke out. It claimed millions of lives, destroyed cities, factories and economies. And doubled Nestlé's profits. Wait, doubled? How does it even make sense? I mean, people have almost self-destructed in a couple of years. A huge number of businesses have been bombed. How can we talk about growth? Remember what I mentioned earlier. Nestlé had factories in the United States, the United Kingdom, Germany, Spain and Switzerland. And now, remember who was part of the Entente and the Central Powers? The main warring factions of World War I. Here is where it gets interesting. Nestlé's headquarters were based in Switzerland. Switzerland, so to speak, is out of politics. To put it mildly, the war doesn't concern it. So neither the Entente nor the Central Powers had any issues with Switzerland. But Nestlé had factories in both camps. What's more, both sides saw a sudden spike in demand of dairy products. War is one thing, but everyone needs to eat. Could sum up Nestlé's approach throughout its history. Nevertheless, every war ends. And the guns of the First World War fall quiet after a while. You might think this was a joyful event. But it also means that Nestlé lost profitable government contracts. So in 1919, they began producing something we all love – condensed milk. Nestlé wasn't the inventor of condensed milk, but they were the ones who sold it. There was an American company called Gabblish & Joplin. They had the technology, and Nestlé managed to buy both the company and the technology for $250 grand. In terms of today's money, this is several billion dollars. The Second World War wasn't so beautiful for the company. Their profits dropped by 70%. But even then, the corporation found a way to adapt. They came up with Nescafé, which became the favorite drink of the American military. But don't forget about their German factory, it didn't go anywhere. In fact, it produced food for the German army too. This war also ended, leaving everything in ruins. To put it another way, it was possible to buy someone else's bankrupt factory for a song. And Nestlé began its journey to world domination. They bought tens of companies, here are a few. The seasoning and soup producer Maggi, Findus, a brand of frozen foods. I can go with this list for a long time. But what is the point of all this? A successful company that was successful making baby food and chocolates suddenly got a massive amount of other technologies. This led to explosive growth for the corporation. And in the 70s, Nestlé even managed to buy Alcon Laboratories NC for a staggering $280 million. If you don't know what this company is, it is a Swiss medical firm that mainly specializes in eye care. In other words, Nestlé has become so cheeky that they have even gone into medicine. Or how about this one? L'Oréal Paris, because you are worth it. If you are a woman, you probably know more about this than I do. But even if you are not, you have definitely heard about their lipstick, eyebrow products, shampoos and so on. Maybe even about the real conditioner, not the kind you are thinking of. The point is, L'Oréal is a massive corporation and a leader in the cosmetics industry. And this already enormous corporation was bought by none other than Nestlé. Or let's jump ahead to 2007. Nestlé bought Gerber, which you probably know well. Now let's look at what's happened throughout the 21st century. Imagine this! Every single year, sometimes even multiple times a year, Nestlé bought a company. And we are not talking about buying a stall at the market. These deals often involved billions of dollars. For example, Nestlé struck a deal with Starbucks worth $7 billion and $150 million just to sell their products. And believe me, that's paid off. Or remember KitKat? I won't believe you if you say you have never seen their ads on YouTube. Guess who owns them? I'm not exaggerating when I say that Nestlé controls 60% of the food and personal care markets. In some cases, they even own direct competitors. So I think their influence might not be just 60%, but even 80%. It is a round monopolist. But remember the beginning of the video. I mentioned something about water and that it was polluted. This is the latest scandal involving Nestlé. The issue is that Nestlé sells bottled water. According to European Union law, this water must come from underground sources. It must be of primary purity, meaning basically it should never have been polluted. There are only a few filtration and pasteurization procedures that manufacturers are allowed to perform. Nestlé's water has been sold for over 30 years. And only now the French have realized that they didn't care about all those rules. The water wasn't from underground sources. It was far away of primary purity. And of course, it wasn't filtered according to the required standards. And it would be nice if it was at least normally filtered. Because contamination with feces, bacteria and other trash is a strong point. And what do you think about Nestlé? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. I'll be interested to hear your opinion. And now let's meet in one of these videos. See you around!